What is going on, guys? I'm SceptileMC, or George, the coach of your San Francisco Arcaniners, here to bring you my Season 4, Week 1 team builder against the donphanatics, or Shorty, or the Norwich Skitties. I think that's what his team name is. Yep, that is what it is. And yeah, guys, so if you guys did not know, I joined the PPL about, well, we had the draft about a week ago, so I do have a draft analysis up if you haven't seen it already. Link in the description below. But yep, so without further ado, let's get right on into his team. So he has the Mega Gallade, the Skarmory, the Aromatisse, the Aromatisse, the Donphan, the Arcanine, the Heliolisk, the Noivern, the Groudon, and the Metagross. So immediately, I'm thinking, well, thank God I have a Mega Sableye, because Mega Gallade's a huge threat to any team. So I have Mega Sableye immediately for that. He has the Skarmory and the Aromatisse as kind of like a bulky core right there. That's a good steel, like, fairy core he's got going. He also has Donphan to kind of boost that up right there. And of course, he has Arcanine, but I know he prefers to run, like, offensive Arcanines, so I don't know if he'll be running a defensive spread per se, but I am also afraid of a Flash Fire spread because I do have Typhlosion on my team. Heliolisk, Noivern, and Groudon, and the Metagross. So I'm really afraid of the Heliolisk and the Groudon, especially because Groudon actually completely just wall breaks my team with Adamant Life Orb. Crabhammer's a 2-hit KO on max defensive Sableye, and Knockoff plus Crunch is a 2-hit KO on max defensive Tangrowth. So I need to be insanely careful with that mon. My only real, like, counter, quote unquote, to it is my Mence, but I'm not running a defensive Mence because I can't run 3 defensive mons. It's not going to work like that. So if he predicts the switch and goes for knockoff, I lose like 75% of my health on Mence. So that's quite scary. And then the Metagross as well is a good counter. If he doesn't want to bring the Skarmory, he can bring the Metagross and get up either some Stealth Rocks with that, or be like Assault Vest, or just in general a Pursuit Trapper could it be as well. But without further ado, yep, let's get right on into my team. So the first Pokemon I decided to bring is my Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is a powerhouse, and I actually want to show you guys the calc right here. You guys can see right here. So you see Hitmonlee, high jump kick. This is a -1 max attack Life Orb, high jump kick, reckless against an Arcanine with max defense, and it does half. It's a 2-hit KO against a max defensive Arcanine. And then if we go over here and we go to Skarmory and we go to OU defensive, and then we go to level 50, it is still a 2-hit KO. So nothing on his team can switch in on this Pokemon. And just to clarify as well, it is also a 2-hit KO on Donphan. So max attack, adamant, life orb, reckless, high jump kick literally runs through this man's team. I don't know why I have rapid spin. Oh, it's because this is not my set. This is the just plain old set. I actually have poison jab for the Aromatisse, and if we go to the max defensive Aromatisse right here, high jump kick does almost half, and poison jab almost guarantees a KO after going for the high jump kick. So this Pokemon right here doesn't have any switch-ins on this man's team. He can't do anything about it. The priority on the Mach Punch as well. It'll OHKO the Heliolisk. I can pick off the Groudon as well. The Metagross can't take a hit. Nothing on this man's team can take a hit from the Hitmonlee. So Jazz Hands is coming back from D-League Season 2. And he's going to come back, guns a-blazing, and we're going to take out some mons. So that is that first Pokemon right there, guys. And let's move on to the next one right here. We have Mega Sableye. What you doing? How are you going to prep for Mega Sableye? And I'm going max HP, max defense, because, let's be real, Groudon, Metagross, and Arcanine, and Mega Gallade, he has a lot more, like, physical prowess on his team than he does, like, the special prowess. And Mega Sableye's physical defense is incredible. 125 is nothing to laugh at, and this set's also insanely interesting. So I have the Recover and the Will-O-Wisp, just kind of like a defensive coverage right there. Then you guys see I have the Dark Pulse and the Nasty Plot. So what I'm hoping I can do here is, if I'm able to take out the Aromatisse early on, if something happens to it, whatever, he decides that it's not, like, worth it to keep, because my mons do in general kind of deal with it pretty well depending on the set he brings. I can go for Nasty Plot on, let's say, like the Mega Gallade, as he wants to go into Arcanine or the Donphan, maybe Noivern, anything like that, and I just set up a Nasty Plot, and then I'm just like, ha, the fuck you gonna do now? And I go for +2 Dark Pulse, and I just kill things. I was torn if I wanted to go either Dark Pulse or Shadow Ball, but I decided that Heliolisk being able to outspeed my entire team, and he's most likely going to run a Life Orb or Choice Specs on it, Dark Pulse is going to be better for that because I can actually hit it, and it's just more of a threat than the Aromatisse is, in my opinion. Plus, I don't outspeed Aromatisse anyway, so me having Shadow Ball for it really not going to change anything. So after that mon, I decided to go with Noodle Man right here. I was torn here on the sets I wanted to bring, because I could have run a lot of different defensive spreads on my Pokemon to change it up. But I went with max defensive Rocky Helmet here, and the reason for that is Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt, it literally destroys. Nothing switches in on a knockoff or Crunch. And if I go into Mega Sableye and I get hit by a knockoff, or if I get hit by a Crunch, Crabhammer might have a chance to take me out, depending on if I have any at all prior damage on me. So this is just the safety net right here for Crawdaunt. I got the Rocky Helmet, I have the Giga Drain, the Sleep Powder, the Leech Seed, and the HP Fire for the Skarmory. This mon, it can't hit Arcanine. It can't hit Noivern. And can't really hit Aromatisse, but I can go for like a Leech Seed against it. I can put it to sleep and stuff like that. It can't hit those mons, but the things that it can wall, it walls really well. And having base 125 defense coupled with base 100 HP, this is the most bulky Pokemon I have on my team in the physical defensive side. And I'm facing most likely the most powerful physically offensive Pokemon in the game right now. So that's not a Mega Evolution, so I have to prep for it. I have to over prep for it, or it's gonna sweep me. If he gets up a Swords Dance or a Dragon Dance, I am so unbelievably scared. So I have two physically defensive Pokemon. I needed something to take hits on the special side. I need something to take the Dracos from the Noivern if he brings it. The Heliolisk is going to be a problem. I need something to take those hits. And then honestly, he doesn't have any more special attackers. It's just those two. So one special defensive mon is perfectly fine on this team. I decided to choose my Porygon 2 because it has great synergy with the Mega Sableye, even though he doesn't have like a fighting type on his team except for Mega Gallade. And this is an interesting set, so I decided to go a Tri-Attack and a Recover, but I also decided to go for a Charge Beam and the Trick Room. So what this is if Aromatisse wants to come in on my P2 because it can wall it, it can go for Wish, I go for Charge Beam, and then he's like, well, fuck, okay, I can't stay in on this guy, so he might have to sack something off or whatever, so he can go into Mega Gallade, so he can try to take me out. I go for Trick Room on a switch or whatever. I get a Trick Room, I get +2 special attack, and then P2 just completely demolishes teams. Combination of Tri-Attack and the Charging, I hit everything on his team for the neutral damage. The only Pokemon I really have a problem with, I guess, is the Metagross if he has the Hammer Arm. That could be a problem. The Donphan, if it's Banded or Assault Vest, I guess could be a problem. But if he doesn't bring either of those, then P2 really has a fun time against his team after a Trick Room gets up, and could save me in the late game, potentially. Sorry, it's a burp. So that is that mon. Is also just the, in general, especially defensive, like, switch in against his team. Wow, I'm burping a lot. Are you good, George? Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so my next Pokemon here is Flygon, aka Salamence, with the leftovers Intimidate. I decided to run a pretty interesting spread right here. I have the Roost, the Iron Tail, the Fire Blast, and the Draco Meteor, but I have the Timid Nature with 220 speed, with 4 special defense, 252 special attack, 28 defense, and 4 HP. So the reason I ran the spread that I ran is, hold on, let me think about this. So 220 speed is to outspeed max speed Arcanine, because I really think that he might go like offensive this week, just because my only resist to offensive Arcanine is the Azumarill, and if he wants to go into Azumarill, or if I want to go into Azumarill, he can go for a Wild Charge, and he can also have HP Ice potentially from Ment, so I really think he's going to go max offensive on that, and I'm really scared of HP Ice actually on that thing. But anyway, I decided to run 220 speed for that, and Timid because I have to run the Timid to outspeed. Max special attack because I'm 90% of the time I'm going for Draco or Fire Blast, and then even if he wants to go into the Aromatics. I do a lot of damage with the Iron Tail anyway. I have a chance of getting a defense drop with like 30% chance. So he might go in. I think he has a chance to not get to it KO'd, but I didn't want to have to run a minus defensive nature. I would rather have run a minus attack nature anyway, so that's why I did that. I got the 4 HP EVs to run. So I ran 4 HP EVs because I wanted an odd number of EVs for rocks. Then I decided to run max EVs in defense. However, if you run 32 EVs, you get the same as 28. So I decided to run the last 4 in special defense just so I could better take hits from the Heliolisk if it came down to it. And last but not least, guys, this last Pokemon, I was torn. And I mean, I was so conflicted of what I wanted to run. Do I run the Typhlosion, which with the Choice Scarf absolutely demolishes his team, or do I run Jirachi and run a Calm Mind spread that absolutely demolishes his team? And I decided to go with Jirachi. If it comes down to it, me not having Typhlosion could actually bite me in the butt because I don't have a Scarfer on this team. But I went with Jirachi, and the reason I went with Jirachi is because it can set up on so many things. If he has the Donphan or the Metagross, he's going to have Earthquake on it to deal with my Jirachi, and I can set up a Calm Mind on them, or I can just switch like into them in general, because they're just going to click EQ. I go into Jirachi, and I'm like, wow, what are you going to do versus me now? So that's why I decided to go with this. I have the Water Pulse, because with the Serene Grace, I have a 40% chance to actually, I can confuse the target with a 40% chance. I have a 20% chance to drop the special defense, and I have a 20% chance to paralyze. With this coverage, I hit everything on his team almost for super effective damage. The only things I don't hit for super effective damage are the Gallade, which isn't appreciating a +1 psychic anyway. The Aromatics, which can't beat me 1v1 anyway. Heliolisk, which if I go Calm Mind isn't going to deal with me. Noivern, it's the same thing with Heliolisk, and then Crawdon and the Metagross. Metagross, probably the trickiest thing to set up on. If he breaks my air balloon, I would have to go for a Calm Mind and then a Water Pulse, and then just see like how I do from there. Crawdon, got T-Bolt for Crawdon, so that's important. The main reason I went with Jirachi is because of Crawdon. In my prep this week, I was really afraid of that Pokemon. It's my favorite Pokemon, if you guys do not know, and I know how powerful it is. I know what it can do. I've drafted it in GBAs before. I've used it phenomenally before. I've gotten into a lot of kills, and now I have to face one, and it's incredibly terrifying. So guys, that is it for today. This is the prep I have for the Norwich Skitty in the first match of the PPL. So guys, if you think I should have put Typhlosion on a team, well, I didn't, and that's what happened. So anyways guys, just leave a comment down below if you guys think my team is good, if it's bad, if you think I should have done something else, if you think I should have prepped differently. Just let me know in the comment section down below. Can't change the team obviously at this point, because if you guys are seeing this video, the battle was already done. I'm just really nervous at this point that me not having Typhlosion and having Jirachi instead is gonna bite me in the ass, because I'm so 50-50 if I want to bring Jirachi or Typhlosion in this battle. It's so up in the air if I wanna, because it just depends on the team he brings. If he brings the different team than I'm expecting, then me having Jirachi could be a complete waste of time, and me having Typhlosion could be much better. Well, I just got interrupted by my dad. He just knocked on my door. I don't understand why people don't like think that if you're home, if you and your son are home and there's no one else at home and he's in his room behind closed doors and you know he records and he's just talking to himself, why would you just open the door? I don't know. It's just annoying. But I just completely lost my train of thought, guys. This is the team I decided to bring for the week 1 of the PPL. Hopefully it works. And guys, that is going to be it for the end of the video. If you enjoyed, I really appreciate it. Leave a comment, like, rating, or subscribe. Of course, subscribing is always my favorite thing you guys could do for me. We just hit 5,000. Also, I did just create a Discord server for my subscribers. If you want to join that, there's a link in the description below. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at SceptileMC if you want to keep up to date with my daily life, etc., stuff like that. Anyways, guys, I'm SceptileMC or George, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.